you can go back and watch it later. I'm going to share my screen because I know there's been a lot of questions about coach placement, ranks, and what all that means. And so if you haven't had a chance to listen to the team call from yesterday, go ahead and do that. There was a lot of great information. Bob is a genius. He's been doing this for about 4 years, and I'm so nowhere near that numbers and things like that, but he's really good. So he had some really great advice, and the way my office is set up is not quite the way that he recommends, but that's okay. I wish that it was. I didn't know when I signed my spouse where I should put him, but it's not a big deal. Bob's is in the opposite of what he recommends that you do as well. But what I want to do first is kind of just show you the online office. I know we have some new coaches here, so you have an idea of what your office looks like. So when you go to your coach online office, know that this office is actually on a delay. So it is actually 24 hours delayed. And so the previous office view is where you can see things live. I sort of navigate between both. This one looks prettier, easier to navigate. But when you log in to your office, you'll see in the front your Success Club qualification. Success Club is a way to know that your business is growing. So whatever your goals might be. This month is Cup month, so I'm obviously SC10 has sort of been what I've built my business off of, but really SC5 is a great way to build your business. It means you're reaching out to 2 to 3 new customers every month, whether it be 2 challenge packs and a Shakeology HD order. It's how you grow, and it means you have residual income coming in. And if you don't quite hit Success Club 5 every month, that's okay, but set the goal to try to get yourself there. It is hard. It's not an easy goal to necessarily meet, so don't feel defeated if you don't get there. But it should be a goal for everybody because it just means that your business is growing and it means you're reaching new people. And that's exactly what we signed up to do, is to help people. And so for hitting Success Club 5, that means that we are reaching at least 3 new people every month. But if you're hitting Success Club 1 or 2, you're still reaching people. So that's a great thing. So you'll see that here in the middle. In order to get the Success Club qualification, you also need to have 90 personal volume points. These can come from your personal Shakeology sale or customers. However, once you get to Emerald, we're going to talk about that. Unless you have as a coach, you have 50 personal volume for coach status. 50 personal volume points is what you need to be eligible for lead, customer lead. I am currently at a diamond rank. I'm to start qualifying. I have to wait 6 weeks to hold rank on both those diamonds, and then I'll need 100 personal volume. But again, this is from my personal orders and also my customer orders. On 3 every month, then hitting 90 is not going to be shouldn't be too hard if you have people on HD. If you don't have anybody on HD, that's where the SC comes in and trying to get people on HD for the residual customers. Scroll down here, you'll see kind of your alerts. So one thing to kind of keep in mind, here it's going to say you have 4 coaches in your organization. That doesn't mean that those are my personally sponsored coaches. It means that all of you are adding coaches as well. And you can see that, go to, I'm going to show you the graphical genealogy here. So this is your tree, and you're always going to be at the top, and you have a right and a left leg. So what's complicated is that your team leg is the leg that the person above you is always adding to. So for me, my upline is Erin Garapy, and so she and her coaching is
Courtney,
adding to my leg. What's that? Somebody's asked something? No, okay. My team leg is my right leg. So this is my leg that I'm always going to get help from the top. So Erin's going to add coaches. Any of her coaches that are above me are adding coaches.
Hard to hear.
But above the head, so like here's my husband, Aaron, and he's actually on my team leg, which is exact opposite of what Bob suggests. He says on your weak leg, which is what we sort of recommend you guys do. it has a PS above his head. So Aaron's my personally sponsored coach. But you'll see this coach here, there's no PS over their head, so that's not my personally sponsored coach. That's Aaron's coach. But that doesn't, they still impact me. So every time that they have a Shakeology sale, a Pio sale, whatever, I get volume.
Yeah, can you mute everybody, Courtney?
Yes, I can. Are you hearing stuff? Is that better? Okay. Sorry, I'm frozen for some reason, but got it. Okay. If you want to be unmuted, like wave me down or something so you can ask a question, or we can use the chat too. Okay, so your team leg again is your, in theory, for in the beginning will be your team leg. So you're going to see a lot more volume over there. So if you're placed on my right, you're going to see a lot of volume over there. So you need to kind of build your inside leg over here. So let's talk about your first step as a coach is getting yourself to Emerald. So like these were the two coaches, these were my two first personally sponsored coaches that got me to Emerald. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have put Aaron over here, but it's okay, he's over here. And so I have Maggie on my left, Aaron on my right. Once I had both of them there, I became an Emerald coach. The benefits to being Emerald mean that you are now eligible for customer leads. These are free customers that Beachbody gives you. And you don't have to hit Success Club to get those customers. You do have to pay club membership, but you should get 2 to 3 of those a month. And if you're just Emerald status and you didn't hit Success Club, it means that they just reached out, they want a coach. And so you'll send emails, you'll call them, try to connect with them. Some are harder to reach than others. I'm going to be honest with that. But, you know, if you have a few coaches that you connect with, you're earning back that club membership, no problem. Once you hit Success Club 5, Success Club 10, you're going to get paid customer leads. So I generally, between my account and Aaron's account every month, get 2 to 3 free leads and 2 to 3 paid leads every month. So I'm earning anywhere between $90 and upwards to $200 on each account on paid Success Club leads. But then I'm also getting 2 to 3 non-paid leads, which I reach out to. And again, some I hear from, some I don't, but I'm still reaching out to them. And I'm trying to invite them and get them into challenge groups. So when I'm really struggling for my SC goals, a lot of times, and I just, was telling this to Jess Kettner today too, is go back to your leads. These are people who did reach out. They do want help. Some are easier to get in touch with than others, but I have been able to matriculate some that just signed up for a free customer, just to have a free coach, and invited them to a 10-day challenge or invited them to a 5-day challenge or whatever I was running. Or if it was a free group that I was offering, at some points I have sugar detoxes or clean eating challenges or whatever it might be. But I know one of the questions that people have are, why do I see all these people in my office? We are all part of a very tangled web. It's a beautiful thing. And so teamwork makes the dream work. So I may place a coach under you. It's not your personally sponsored coach, but you're still benefiting from that person. When it comes time for placement, always, always, always reach out to your upline or your Star Diamond upline. So for some of you, that's me. Some of you, that might be Aaron. Some of you, that might be Marina. Always, always, always reach out to us so we can kind of help you with placement. But you should always be placing outside left, outside right. So for me, when I built my organization, I did left, right, and then I sort of went left and right. And in your first couple placements, there's not so much strategy as much as there's balance, because your first step is Emerald, which is 2 coaches under you. Your next step is Ruby, which is 4 coaches under you, and 2 of them need to be Emerald. So you don't necessarily always know who wants to kind of work and who wants to build to Emerald. So you're sort of just going back and forth, left and right, and you can kind of guess as you will. But I sort of skipped through Ruby. I think I might have been Ruby for a week and then right to Diamond, because I think I had maybe 10 or 12 coaches, but I didn't have 2 that were at Emerald. And so once I had 2 that went Emerald, I advanced directly to Diamond. So always place outside left, outside right. That means that your coaches in your organization are going to fill in. So for example, Maggie went left, Erin went right, and then Abby went left, and then there was a coach here placed that was not mine, so I put my next coach under them, still my coach, over to the right. So you kind of just alternate that way, and don't use your inside legs here, because the theory would be that when Maggie would add coaches to her organization, she would add them here. So she's going to fill them in and fill in for volume. So in the beginning, you're going to just see like a really wide tree. There'll be nothing in the middle, and that's okay, because eventually you'll fill in the middle. So like mine's filling in a little bit now because I'm building Erin too. So just kind of keep that in mind. Again, reach out to your upline. If you have questions, if you can't get in touch with your upline, reach out to me, Erin, Marina, whoever it is, because you have to set this placement before your coach signs up. If they sign up and they went the wrong place, you have 72 hours to switch them. You send an email, and we'll walk you through that process. It's just easier if you had your placement set already. So to set your placement, when you go into your organization, again, you might have to scroll down kind of far, because if you're on my right, my team leg, which is also Erin's leg now, there's a lot of coaches here. So you have to kind of keep scrolling down until you see an empty person. Going down. Okay. So here's my red person. Red actually means it's already set, but I always do it anyway just to make sure it actually was. Click on it, and it will say, do you want to set your preferred placement? And you click OK. And so when your coach signs up, when you give them your link, they'll be placed right there. Again, if you want to move them, you have 72 hours to move them. You just send an email, and I usually take a screenshot of where I want them to go so they don't get placed in the wrong place. But generally speaking, outside left, outside right are proper terms that, in my experience, Coach Relations has understood, which is a good thing, because as we all know, Coach Relations doesn't always understand what we're asking. But outside right, outside left, they do know. So you want to kind of suggest that. Okay, so that's sort of coach placement, Emerald. One of the other benefits once you hit Emerald is that you will be eligible for cycle bonuses. Cycle bonuses, and I'll post the video because I'm not a numbers person. The video is really helpful. Michael Neiman does a great job. But basically what that means is, let me go back to my home page here. So when you go to your volume over here, so like right now on my left leg, I have 1,457 in volume and 2,700 on my right leg. Again, my right leg is my team leg. That's my strong leg. My left leg is my leg that I have to build on my own. On my own meaning no help from the top, but all of my coaches on my left are building that volume as well. So in order to cycle, you need to have 200 on one side and 100 on the other. And every time you have 200 on one side and 100 on the other, you cycle $14 as an Emerald. It probably took me 2 months to cycle more than $14, but that's $14 in your pocket every week. So don't look at it as I only cycled $14, because I think the first time I saw double that, I was ecstatic, because I was like, oh my gosh, it happened again. But you've got to add coaches to your weak leg. And so again, your team leg is always going to have some volume. So if you're on the strong team leg, they're putting volume. I'm adding coaches, my coach is adding coaches, Erin's adding coaches, whoever's adding coaches, it's got volume over there. You've got to build your weak leg so that you cycle. So if you've got a potential rock star coach, you kind of want to put them on your inside leg. And this is why the strategy for putting your spouse there is really helpful, because you can push, let's say you're going to host a 10-day challenge, you've got 5 boxes of Shakeology to order. You order them through your husband, so you boost your volume, and then you're guaranteed to cycle. So you're not only, you break even on your Shakeology challenges, but you're actually making money because you're going to actually cycle. If you're going to order programs, gifts for people, whatever it might be. Erin's on my team leg, so in theory, ordering through him doesn't really help boost my cycle chances. It did in the beginning, but now it really doesn't. I still order through him though, because there are some weeks my volume is almost the same. And so it may help kind of boost another cycle. But know that that's the best way for you to kind of grow. And I think all of you new coaches that went Emerald, that's how we've advised for you to do it. Once you are Emerald, it's really in your best interest, once you're hosting challenges, again, to order your own packets, because again, you're going to cycle. So getting your orders from your challenges and ordering a box of Shakeology, even if it's just one box that you want to invest in, because I know a lot of us have inventory we're trying to unhaul. None of us want to have extra inventory. You really don't. You're losing money if you're holding on to packets. So I love that we work together and we share. We have this to get rid of, so I love that. But if you are Emerald, it is in your benefit for a challenge to order a box, because it will help you cycle if you order under your spouse. If they're on your weak leg, if they're on your strong leg, it may not necessarily benefit you a ton. So like for me, in the beginning, like I said, it did. In the end, now it really doesn't. So that's cycling. And again, that's kind of when you get really advanced in this business, a lot of people, that's their income. It's residual income. I've seen some of the paychecks from some upline that are way, way up above us, and it's crazy. Like I can't even imagine what that must look like with that check in my account on a week. But I'm just getting to the point now where I'm actually really starting to cycle a little bit more. Aaron's starting to cycle, which is good. So that's, you kind of want to build that way. Let me see what else. Another announcement, it's Cup Month, obviously. So Cup Month is a really great month for us to work together. You guys have done a great job forming some great new challenge groups and pushing each other. So shout outs to all of you guys, Nicole and Jessica. I know you guys have worked really hard on that awesome PIO group, which is great. Thanks for letting us all join too. Then some of us are in the summer cruising to losing group, which is started off great. We're not adding any more to that, so we'll see how that goes. I've never done a non-rolling admission, so we'll see, but it was worth a try to see how it goes. And I think what we need to be thinking about is what we're inviting people to next. There is obviously some groups that are ongoing, and I know people have been inviting to that, but we are going to start to phase out some of the other groups. So Sean and Tony is going to close down, and so those people either need to move to another group or to Fit and Fierce Committed for now, only because a lot of those people were kind of carried over from our old groups, and so we want to find a new home for them. So be thinking about what other types of groups we can get them into. The activity is sort of low. It's mostly us coaches posting in there, and that's usually a good sign that the group kind of needs to be phased out. I never understood that when I was a new coach. I know Megan was always a big fan of closing down groups after 60 to 90 days, and I never really got it until I hosted my first smaller group, which was the Mamas group, and we're really seeing a fizzle. There's not much posts going on in there other than us coaches, which is a good sign to know people have kind of fizzled off. So we need to find a place to put them. Fit and Fierce Committed is, we need to find ways to engage our people in there. It tends to, again, just be coaches, because for me, those are typically Shakeology, HD customers. And so what I want you guys to be doing is brainstorming what are some August groups we can be looking at. I know some people talked about doing a 21-day fix group starting in August. I think that's a great group to do, 21-day fix. I know when the Body Back group started, that was an amazing group. I know Katie, you were part of that. That was a great group, and there was a lot of people. There was a lot of excitement about the program coming out. But again, it's sort of dead now, and that just kind of happens because our focus was on 21-day fix. And so groups can be program-based, they can be demographic-based. So I targeted the moms. That was a great group. We've got women only going on now. There's a PIO group, and then I know Nicole and Jessica, you guys are doing like a summer slim down group. Is that what it's called? Yeah, and that's like a mashup of different programs, right? And I think that those groups are great. So it's kind of depending on what your passion is. But don't ever feel like you're in this alone. We don't ever want anybody to feel like I have to run these groups on my own. Let's continue to do this together. Find a push partner, somebody to really challenge you. Find several of them. I have several push partners in this business because I'm always needing people to bounce ideas off of, and a lot of them are you guys. I look to you guys for help and advice and assistance, so thank you. But let's be thinking about, again, what to do with Fit and Fiercely Committed, I should say, how to engage our challengers in that group. And then also, Sean and Tony will be kind of closing down here soon. So be reaching out to your people that are in there and letting them know. They're just going to be moving over to Fit and Fiercely Committed. Find out where they're at in their program. If they're getting ready to want another program, then we can certainly, suggest other things for them, or find another, put them in there for the time being. Because I think if we move our challengers from Sean and Tony into Fit and Fiercely Committed, it would become a more engaged group, because people that are posting in Sean and Tony will then be posting in Fit and Fiercely Committed. And so that's kind of a transitional group. But we can certainly look at a Sean and Tony group in the future too, especially since Tony's coming out with his P90 in the fall. That's a really great program for people looking for something lower impact, a good introductory workout. I love that Beachbody is targeting not just, I think about how difficult it must have been 3 or 4 years ago in this business when you only had P90X and Insanity. Not everybody can jump into those programs. I know I certainly probably couldn't have. And so I love that we have a million different options now for people with different strengths and weaknesses, and so we can find the right program for them, which is just fabulous. And I'm really sore from PiYo, which is really blowing my mind, but my hips are so sore. It's deceivingly hard. But anyway, and let's see what else. Does anybody have any questions? I see my remaining time here is 5 minutes. It's probably good. It's going to cut me off. Otherwise, I'll keep talking forever. But we might need to use chat because, okay, I wasn't looking at that. Sorry. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, how late can we sign up for the month? You can, Katie, you can sign up for club membership on the 30th of, are there 31 days in July? Yes, on the 30th of the month to get leads for next month. Again, you have to have club membership to get the free leads or the paid leads if you've hit Success Club. All of these are tax write-offs too, you guys, so I know that it seems like a lot of extra money to spend, but if you get one lead to commit to something, you pay quarterly, so it's $38 quarterly, but if you get one lead to commit, you're paying back that money pretty quickly. And so it is a great way to build more relationships, but it's a personal choice, so it's completely up to you. There's no pressure for anybody to do that or to invest in it. But once you're Emerald, you are eligible regardless for that $14 cycle bonus. So you certainly can kind of start to monopolize and take advantage of that with ordering things through your husband's account. Any other questions? Anybody have any other questions? Nothing? Okay. Again, big thing to know before you sign any coaches, just reach out to your upline so we can help you with placement. Keep setting your goals. You guys are doing awesome. When I logged into my office, I sort of unplugged all weekend, but when I logged into my office on Monday, I was super impressed with what's going on. So it's great. I love Cup Month because it sort of really gets us focused on why we started doing this, and that's to help people. I know this has been, and today is actually my 1-year anniversary since I signed up to be a coach, which is crazy. It was like the fastest year of my life. But it's been great, and I'm so glad to be on this with you guys. Okay, if anybody has any other questions, I'm going to let you guys go. And it looks like we wrapped in 25 minutes. I talk fast. You guys are lucky. Okay. All right. Nothing? Anyone else? No? Okay. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Bye.